What is up, everybody? So I thought we would talk about Jordan Love and what we can sort of take away from this preseason, because if we look back to, everything that's happened since Aaron Rodgers played his last game here in Green Bay, the question was, can Jordan Love replace Aaron Rodgers? I think most of us know that Jordan Love, to get to Rodgers level would be the odds aren't in his favor to be as good as a quarterback as Aaron Rodgers was during his time here in Green Bay. And so entering this preseason, entering this training camp, I think lots of us wanted to see, okay, how Love can Jordan Love be? Odds of him being Aaron Rodgers, not high. I don't think it's fair to hold him to those kind of expectations because there are very few all-time who will ever get to Aaron Rodgers' level. And so the biggest, uncertainty this year, the biggest uncertainty for the Packers entering this season is what they're going to look like in 2023, and lots of that comes down to the play of Jordan Love. So entering training camp, as training camp got started, we all knew that Love had some talent. We all knew that the Packers had enough confidence in 2020 to use a first-round draft pick on him, and then they had enough confidence once again to trade away Aaron Rodgers, which I think showed that they at least thought that Love was ready to go out and see if he could do it. And now we've had 3 preseason games to judge Jordan Love off of, and I think it has given us at least somewhat of an idea of what he's going to be in this season. Obviously, we don't know everything. We don't exactly know, what the future holds here. But I think if you look at his overall play in the preseason, here's some stats. 21 of 33, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 109.8 passer rating. And I think if you would have told me that Love would enter this preseason, throw 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, I would say that's a pretty good preseason. Because I think some questions, at least that I had in years past, in the preseason games he played in the game against the Chiefs, I was wondering, is he going to be able to limit those interceptions? Because I think early in his career in the preseason, he seemed to be a little bit more careless with the ball, and I think he has fully really gotten Matt LaFleur's offense, and he's really comfortable in the pocket, and he doesn't really take, tons of risks when it comes to that. Sure, he has his, misses here and there, but he's not constantly putting the ball up in harm's way like a Sean Clifford, who I still really like. I will be much more nervous if Sean Clifford was the guy entering the season, because while he has some talent, he, does put the ball in harm's way very often. And I think with Love, the balls that he misses, it's not like he's missing right to the defenders. He's missing a little bit, where he sort of puts it in the position where only his guy can go up and get it. And so that's, I think, a promising thing from Jordan Love. And the thing I love the most about today's preseason game in general, overall, was Jordan Love and his ability to escape the pocket. That's what I loved. I knew he had a little bit of it. We saw it in one of the first games where he escaped for 10 yards. I can't remember if that was week 2? I think that was the second game. We know that he had it. We know he has that speed and athleticism, and he hadn't really unleashed it. But today he unleashed it 3 or 4 different times, sitting back there. He decides to scramble around a little bit, and I was very happy with the kind of runner that he can be. And I think that's an aspect of his game that is going to take him very far. And I love the fact that he's willing to sit back there in the pocket, read through his routes and see who's open, who's not open. But when he can add this other factor to the game where he can extend plays, sort of like an early Aaron Rodgers did, I think that the sky is the limit for what he can become. And so we still don't know what he's going to do. He needs to prove it once the season comes around. He needs to show us that he can keep this up, once week 1 comes and consistently through the rest of the season. And it's not like he's perfect. He definitely needs to clean up, I think, those deep balls. We saw one today. Christian Watson had beat his guy by maybe 5 yards or so, and he still couldn't hit him. I think there was some wind, but that's definitely an area he needs to clean up. But overall, my assessment of his preseason has been, I'm very content and happy with what we saw from him, and I think that this is of all scenarios for Jordan Love, this is probably one of the best we could have had, because there's definitely scenarios where Love comes out here, maybe in the preseason has 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We're still wondering, is he going to, be a guy that just can't, keep the ball safe? Is he going to be a guy who's just going to go out there and sling it up when he doesn't know what's going to happen because his guys are covered? No, he's he's sitting back there, he's reading the field, he's willing to take checkdowns, and he's very careful with the ball while still, I think, putting it in positions. He's not afraid to throw the deep ball. He definitely needs to improve in that area. I would say from the preseason, that's probably the biggest thing he needs to improve, but he's not afraid to throw the deep ball. And so I think it's something that's going to, get better as time goes by.